In this video, I'm going to try and design one logo in 10 different styles to see which one will beat the rest. Can I do it? Is it possible? Which one will be the best? Let's find out. So it's called Air, the company, and it's an air conditioning company, bog standard, but we can go a bit creative. So first of all, I'm going to choose a new font called Nohemi. You can see with it, it's got those kind of ink traps here. So it has really nice contrast all the way through. I'm going to duplicate that because I think with the A there, with that arrow, I can do something. I'm going to outline this, ungroup. I'm going to take this A, release that compound path, and let's go to effects, warp. Oh wow, is it not going to even warp that? Why won't you warp? I'm going to create a new block around it because it didn't want to work last time. For some reason, it doesn't want to work. So instead of that, we're going to create a sort of wave shape like so. I'm trying to get the idea of air coming in from the air conditioning. This will be one style. Try and get these paths right. Bring it down a little bit. Scale it out. Okay, I kind of like the look of that so far. Maybe fix it a little bit. Okay, I'm going to outline that just because we've got the idea there. So let's outline this and create some shadow in there. I'm going to create a little shadow bit here. So create a curve with the white and hopefully it will look like it's been taken away from there. Yes, that looks good. Just need to edit it ever so slightly. That looks good to me. Let's use the shape builder tool to get rid of that. Add these together. Okay, and boom, there's one style. Like very simple, very minimalist, but quite effective as well. In fact, we could just stay simple by doing this, or even in fact, we could just do that because we've got that sort of contrast in there, trying to get those wave vibes going on. Okay, let's try a better one. What if we stuck with the same one, took this and created more of an icon from it? Like, again, that kind of works. I'm going into my sort of corporate, boring ones right now, which I always start off with. A lot of the time, logo design, simplicity gets quite boring. So I think we need to spice this up. But there you go, there's another one there. So we've got 1 and 2. I've just drawn out a few ideas and I'm going to bring them in. I just drew them in Procreate. Wanting to use one of these, I had this idea of creating that same feeling of air going through, but typographically. So I kind of liked this one here and this one here. So I'm going to go for it and just see what happens. Let's use the pen tool here. I've got a weird angle with this pen tool. That's the only problem that we're facing right now. So I'm going to not put a stroke on this yet to make sure that these lines are just very nice all the way through. Okay, let's see this line because we're going to use that later. Okay, this is the problem that we always face with these things. There we go. Get that looking nice and smooth. We'll copy this over because I like to reuse a lot of typographic elements. There we go. Maybe do this. What would it look like if we made it like this? Okay, I can see that happening. Okay, for like a couple of minutes, that's not too bad. We do need to fix this. Do some balancing, some optical alignments. That's not straight. The problem is with monoline type, that you've got a lot to do. I'm only using like less than a third of the amount of anchor points because we're just using a stroke, but there's that. Let's shove it back in over here because although it looks good, we could like, mess around with it and, create a Sharpie look. Like so. I mean, we'd have to like really work it out. That kind of looks weird. I don't like that. So in just a few minutes, we've got 3 not too dissimilar designs. We've got 2 that are very similar and 1 that is quite unique. But I like this idea. I've got this other one now where I want it to be upright and more perfect. Do this little method that I like to do, which is create some grids. So that'll be the A. A comes up, I comes up, and then the R. Got you. Now this is a neat little method that I've learned somewhere online, but I've shown it in the past as well. Need to get that into the center, and you'll see what I'm doing here in a few minutes as well. Oh no, wait, that doesn't go there. That goes down here. This is me using the shape builder tool to create the A and the I. And for the R, I guess we just need it to go over here because this will come up to about halfway. What I'll do is I'll just copy this to make sure we have a copy of it. I'll start using the shape builder tool to build this out. There's the A. No, the I is the same. Okay, we'll bring this further down because we need to do some overshooting now. Let's just bring that down by 7. Okay, and then I'm going to take this and bring that down. We sort of have a air there. I kind of want these to be on the same line, but I don't think that's going to work very well. That's kind of like a cool icon there. I mean, we could add the crossbar of the A here too. kind of looks good. Trying to get these overshoots right. The problem with being a type designer, but something I don't like is the way that the R is sort of sat. It kind of looks a bit too clean there coming down. But what I do think would be cool is seeing how it would work in a pattern. Like, does it actually work? That could make a really fun pattern all the way through. I think we'll keep that. There's another concept. Let's go to another one. Let's find another one. Something that I like is symmetry and balance. So maybe if we just create something a bit more playful, kind of like a molecule idea. So if I do this, 3 letters, let's go for it. Take an A. May need to change the width. The great thing about variable fonts is we can just change the width of these to however we need them. That kind of works. I need to outline that stroke, just scale that up. It's a bit basic, but it could work. All these logos that I do are normally very quick and easy. It's the ideation behind them, I think, when working with clients is that takes the hardest or longest amount of time. So out of the ones that we've got already, looks like these are quite similar. And I mean, I could just be the most minimalist logo designer in the whole planet and take this and wrap it round as well. If I can grab all of it, we could use a circle as a graphic device and that could look okay. I think that actually looks better than the whole logo type there. I'm not sure, but as an icon, does it work? Is it scalable enough? I think so. It kind of looks a bit weird though. I don't like it how this part here sort of sat. Looks kind of like air coming through, but I like the shadow there. It gives it a bit of dimension too. Quite happy with that one. Before I go into the next one, I just want to take a second to thank WILLYOUGENCY for sponsoring this video. WILLYOUGENCY is a new free tool that helps freelance designers work with their own clients and get paid on time, including fully customizable project proposals, a built-in client briefing system, a project communication, files and payments, all in one place. I can send new project proposals, choose to use payments to make sure I get paid, pick the briefing option to get a proper brief from the client, and set up all the details from the project price. To timings and deliverables, I can even add a project I'm already working on with a client. It's pretty great, it's invite only, and I've got the invite code to get you in. Kind of running out of ideas of what to do, and I'm trying to do this as fast as possible, so I think what we need to do is go a bit like museum-y. By that, let's create a design that you would only see in a very pretentious museum or something. So let's create a circle and create a weird pattern. This always works. You can tell I'm grasping for straws. Take these, we'll just go to blending options. Okay, that sounds good. Let's create a blend. Nice. Create this, make it white. Send it to the front. In fact, we can get good proportions from probably just making another circle exactly the same size. A little trick is if I don't know what size to do it, I'll just divide it by the golden ratio. Divide by 1.618. Nice. Take that, bring it here. Where's air? Let's just write it in lowercase. Let's variable font, saving the day again. Get a capital on there. Get that thicker. This is more of a challenge to myself to see if I can actually create this in the time slot allowed, which currently isn't very long. So that's the pretentious one, but I feel like that needs to be brought down a notch again. So we'll divide it again by 1.618, which kind of makes it a bit too small. And I don't want it in the dead center. I could put it here. Yeah, we'll just put it in dead center. Why not? Dead center, that looks cool. I mean, there's a lot of issues. I'm just going to bring it up to get rid of that. After looking at the word air for so long, I don't know if that's even how you spell it. It doesn't seem right. It could be dyslexia though. Okay, so we've got some uber boring ones, which is fine. Script monoline, very geometric curves, the worm. We've also got this one here, which is more like a puzzle piece, but I was trying to make it more molecular. And I mean, a way to make that a bit more molecular, we could do. Just take this, and I guess we could just add some line structures, but I don't know. That kind of looks weird. I'm going to get rid of that and pretend that didn't happen. What if we go all like 90s, or not even 90s, but like bold, more cartoonish? How to do that? Let me create a new artboard for this. Let's go bold. Let's make our own A. Let's do this, grab these, scoot that across. We shall reflect it like so. Then what I'm going to do is create some lines. This will give it the feeling of movement. Now the difficulty here is making sure that those lines are thin enough, but also thick enough and further away enough. For any of you that don't know what I'm doing, I'm just pressing Command D. If you just drag it like that and copy it and press Command D, it allows you to copy what you just just did. So, okay, I like that. Now, to give some definition, here's a little hack that I know how to do, which is great. Give it a white stroke, just so we know what it looks like. Set it to the outside, increase that, bring it to the back, bring these to the back, so we've got the right stacking order. Then that stroke will give it the illusion that we've got a perfectly cut out piece there. Nice. Okay, duplicate that. Then we can mess around with these to give it a bit more pizzazz, make it a bit more nice. That looks okay. Okay, I like that, but there's a few things I need to do to it. Let's outline the stroke. Let's sort this out with the shape builder tool. Do you remember the days of just the Pathfinder? Pretty glad those are gone. Do this, make sure it's all aligned correctly. So now we've got the air movement, even though it's very blocky. I quite like it though, but it doesn't feel right without its logo type underneath it. We'll just call it air conditioner. Conditioner. Same typeface, we can change it later. Scale this down, group it together, increase that weight. So this font here, I'll link it down below. It's by one of my favorite font designers. And a TM for good luck. Feels like it's one of those styles where it needs a TM in there. Just shove it over here for now.
Have you actually trademarked that? Because you shouldn't put the TM on it if it's not trademarked.
Boom. How's the kerning on this bad boy? Looks good. I actually really like that one. Okay, now I want to take this idea here. This is what I do when I'm creating things. It's like an experiment, but then you also go back to some form or shape that you see. So I'm going to take this, scale it up. Look at all those anchor points. We'll have to get rid of them later. We shall create a circle because I kind of like the idea of the illustrative way that air moves out of air conditioner, like when they have those pieces of paper falling out of them. So I want to show that within this. And if the company was just called air, this is a good way of doing it. So I'm going to create a circle like so, make it into a stroke, and I think what I'm going to do is blend it again, like down like so. Okay, that'll do. Okay, that works. Let's expand that, and let's see if I can cut each of these, because this is the easiest way I found to cut vector work all the way around. I quite like the look of that, but it seems a bit too static in the middle there. So we'll create some thickness. Maybe it's just the not being thick enough. I think there's too many. It did not turn out the way I wanted it to. Give me a second. Voila, that's more about it. Just wanting to get something unique inside of there. Having the letter as an icon nearly always works because it allows the consumer to see the first letter, which is what people need to be reminded sometimes. And it's also better having something more functional than just purely abstract. But don't listen to me. Actually, you might want to. Okay, not bad. Now I know from this one it works pretty well when it's small. It kind of looks like an aviation company though. However, I think we need to go into a bit more of a hand lettering realm. Okay, really quickly in Procreate, I created something that was a bit wavy. I wanted to get across the idea of the air conditioning again, so I created this groovy one. This is not looking very professional, but still looks pretty cool. I'm going to bring it into my reference layer, bring it up to 20, and we're going to pen tool this thing in. Trick with the pen tool is to, as much as possible, try and keep it to horizontal and vertical lines and keep these handles evenly spaced across. By that, they pull and you want them to pull just about as much as each other. It is a bit of a practice thing, but I tell you, it does work. Like for instance here, I know that this handle needs to come up a little bit because when I come in here, like so, this line needs to go there and it might need to come in even more so. I'm going to add a quick guide on the top there too. Pull that up. We shall pull that there. We could create two shapes, but I'm not going to today. We are just going to use the box method that I love to use. And if it doesn't work, you just do this. Essentially, that system just allows you to quickly create the curves that you need that Illustrator works on, but also essentially the horizontal and vertical anchor point system just allows you to create these shapes without having to create overtly more than necessary anchor points. So I'll just quickly do the rest. I mean, the R looks a bit funky, but it's designed to look a little bit funky. There is 10 different logos. Now, which one is the best? That's the tricky question. Personally speaking, I really like this one here. I think this one just looks more finished than the rest of them. It was very easy to do because it's very geometric and doesn't take that much time, to be fair. Conceptual wise or idea wise, I really like this one because the way that it could wiggle. I like this one because I was trying to create it into just one wiggly line. But there you go. I did design one logo in 10 different ways. Here are all the logos that I designed. Make sure to now subscribe and also tell me which one you think was the best and what you would do differently. You can always post it in our subreddit. Thanks for watching. Check out this video and I'll see you next time.